Welcome
in.
everyone. Oh, come on, Jimbo. I mean,
Wait,
his light falls right as the show's starting, and then he forgets to do the intro. I
my bad.
mean,
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I'm James Haskell, along with my co-host Glenn Martin, and of course DK in the background. We are, at least me, I think "we" is the proper word, but excited about it being Wednesday and us moving clearly into what is Steelers Week version 1 of this season. Looking forward to the matchup. But look, this is a Wednesday night show, so we're here to talk about all things Ravens. Probably look around the AFC a little bit. Maybe if we got some time, dabble into the playoff picture as a whole. But before we do all that, how you doing this evening, Glenn? Hanging in there?
doing well. It's officially cold in Baltimore, and I don't think there's any turning back. So I'm getting used to the freezing cold temperatures that we've been facing. But outside of that, I mean, look, I'm excited about we're getting inching closer to the playoffs. And, you know, despite the fact that I, like many Ravens fans, was incredibly disappointed about Thursday night's performance that almost ruined a beautiful holiday. You know, had the opportunity to sit around, watch some football Sunday, relatively stress-free, and got to be a Bills fan for a couple hours, and then it ended as soon as that game was over. Actually, no, I'm a Bills fan one more week because they're playing the Bengals this week, so I will be a Bills fan again once again. But you know, it allowed me to step back a little bit, breathe, and realize that everything that we thought the Ravens had going for them before Thursday is still right there for them this week, and in a large part because the Steelers lost, but also because they still have games against those, you know, two opponents that they are fighting for the division. So I'm feeling better, and I'm feeling hopeful that the Ravens can get some things turned around because at least we know that the defense isn't a fluke. They look to be the real deal in a lot of ways. The pass rush still leaves me wanting some more, but yeah, I mean, all in all, feeling a lot better than I did going to sleep on Thursday night.
Yeah, I feel you there. I mean, for me, what made the loss a little bit better was just like you talked about, obviously the Steelers losing, but also just coming to the realization that in this week, to me, in my mind, this game counts for two. Right?
Yeah,
like we're coming into this, same exact record, both with one divisional loss.
And this one's more valuable than the second matchup because it's the last game of the season.
Right. So
this game could end. This could put that another nail in their coffin, and they could be on vacation on week 18.
Exactly. So I'm looking forward to it. But look, before we go any further, you guys have seen the news. You're already talking about in the chat. Let's get into it, Glenn. Of course, the one, the only Mandrews gets if you want to throw that up there, DK, gets a 3-year extension with the Baltimore Ravens. Of course, it says here, this is from Adam Schefter on X. Ravens and tight end Mark Andrews have reached a 3-year agreement, $39.3 million extension that includes $26 million guaranteed. The Ravens announced the agreement they reached with Andrews' agent, Justin Schulman. First of all, shout out to Mark. Really, I could be alone when I'm saying this, Glenn. I'm happy. I'm relieved. And I'm looking forward to more years of Mark Andrews. Is that a crazy thing for me to say?
Well, I don't think it's crazy, but what I do think is that I was shocked. I will say that. Shocked of the timing of the announcement of, I guess the extension in general was a bit shocking to me. I mean, not only was it seemed like from the fan base's perspective that it was almost a foregone conclusion that Mark would leave this year and that the Ravens would make every attempt to sign Isaiah Likely to a long-term extension. I find it incredibly unlikely that after this extension that Likely's here any further after this season. I think this is all but marks that Likely will be taking his talent elsewhere. And that part isn't that shocking. Like I never really understood why everyone was ready to, you know, give Isaiah Likely a huge bag and anoint him the next, you know, great tight end in Baltimore. Because let's be honest, this is a franchise that's had great tight end after great tight end, it seems like, for many years. And so it's like I never really got paying him a huge bag. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's earned the type of contract that I think he's looking for. But I was surprised when you think about here's my question to you, Jimbo. When you know Gilman's going to be a free agent. Travis Jones is going to be a free agent. Tyler Linderbaum will be a free agent this year. Pat Ricard, Kyle Van Noy, Chidobe Awuzie, who's been absolutely fantastic for them this season. If that precludes them from signing some of these guys, I don't know about all these guys, but certainly, like, if that means they can't get Travis Jones or Tyler Linderbaum inked to long-term deals, do you still feel the same way you do about the deal for Mark? You feel happy?
I think ultimately, I think that you have to stick to the value of this signing and be happy with that, right? Outside of the cascading effect it could potentially have, because that's always a potential issue. But we just extended our franchise leader in yards, right? He's already franchise leader in yards, I believe, isn't he?
I think he's got everything now.
Yards, touchdowns, receptions.
Yeah, I believe he's got all three.
And he's only 30?
Yeah, 30, yeah.
So I think there's plenty of meat on the bones. And I'll admit on this show here, you guys have watched, I said it after the divisional round against the Bills, like, get rid of him. The whole city was saying it, right? It takes time sometimes to come back to center. You can probably figure out what type of person I am when I get in arguments.
Yeah. You go for the low blow? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't go for the low. You know what? I do have some etiquette.
Okay.
More than some of my other fighting companions.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to say is that I'm pretty extreme.
Yeah.
And so, look, I think when you take a second and you look at this whole thing, I believe that at the beginning of the season, Likely and Andrews knew what it was. They knew it was a zero-sum game for the two of them. It doesn't mean they need to compete with one another. It means they need to compete with themselves. One of them two were getting this money.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how the Ravens wanted it. So to the spoils goes the winner. What has Isaiah Likely done? Just like you said, Glenn, everyone was talking about Isaiah this, Isaiah that, Isaiah this, Isaiah that, Isaiah that. And I get it with good reason, but ultimately he had his shot. And you could say he was hurt, he was this, that, and the other. But even when he had opportunities, he didn't really make a ton of anything, right? So I don't know. I love this because I think Mark earned it. Mark deserves it. I feel like we can still depend on Mark. And I know people will say that the drops in the playoffs and this, that, and the other. But I would propose a question. Is there another tight end in this league since 2019? That's 7 years since Lamar Jackson became our quarterback. Did Lamar and Patrick Mahomes start the same year? Or Mahomes was 1 year earlier?
I think it was 1 year before. Yeah.
Okay, so from the time that Mahomes and Lamar were starting together, between Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce, that is the only two people in the tight end in the league, as far as tight ends that have had like those two and the amount of pressure they've had on them
I
to
think
produce
Kittle's
in the
up
passing
there.
game. Who?
Kittle's had a pretty big impact in his.
No, not impact, but pressure in that, like, there hasn't been a lot around them. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, Travis Kelce has had to do a ton. Mark Andrews has had to do a ton. It's just hard for me to think of other tight ends who have really carried that load as successfully and as consistently as those two. So, I don't know. It's just hard for me to give that up, right? Like, if I actually take a second and think about it, I think it's a great value signing.
I see your point. I get what frustrating to the fans, of course.
For sure.
Is that he hasn't a single touchdown in his entire playoff career.
Yeah.
His drop rate like quadruples in the playoffs than what it was in the regular season. Now, much bigger sample size in the regular season, but still not he's got 8 playoff games in his career. And so to have no touchdowns in 8 playoff games and to have some pretty big gaffes in recent history, not just the drop 2-point conversion, but also the fumble as he's trying to make something out of already a first down. He's trying to make it into a bigger play, fumbles the ball in a huge situation. And this year, it does seem like that they're not on the same page like they always used to be. It always seemed like before they were always in sync. Their mind melted, between Lamar and Mark Andrews. Doesn't seem that way now. When Mark's expecting, or when Mark is sitting down in coverage, Lamar's expecting him to keep going, and then vice versa has happened multiple times as well. So it does seem like there's a disconnect, but that disconnect seems to be throughout the whole passing game. It's not just limited to him and Mark. It seems like there's a disconnect with every receiver right now.
Yeah.
I know what that comes down to. What, the offensive line? Yeah, I mean, they stink. But so I get it from both. It's like, but when does, I guess the only question is, when does it become like we can't pay you for what you did? You know, we're paying you for what's going forward. And so it's like he said, the timing of the signing is a little strange. I think Antonio makes a good point. He says, I love 89, but the timing of signing is weird. It is. But I guess who knows how much Eric DeCosta is negotiating right now with multiple agents. It could be something he's been doing for weeks, all year.
And their analysis had to be that Mark is going to get more on the open. It had to be that more likely than not, he's going to get more on the open market than he would right now.
Do you think it's fair that through their scouting, that they found that Isaiah likely would command more than this deal?
I could see that, right?
And they going, you know what? We can afford Mark more than we can afford Isaiah.
And let's get it now, but let's not wait till the end of the season, because the end of the season, it's like, it's buy a house in the winter, don't buy it when tax returns come out.
That's true. Like, and there's just hope that the playoffs don't come and he doesn't pull another Mark Andrews playoff performance, has a couple drops, and then all of a sudden they're going, damn, did we just pay this guy for another 3 years, $26 million guaranteed? I think there's a lot of questions. I really hope that this does not mean Travis Jones and Tyler Linderbaum are gone, because
no, I don't think so, Glenn. I think there's other things we can do to get creative. I mean, Lamar's no way sticking at $75 million as a hit.
Certainly not.
Can't. We can't. It's not. We can't do that. We can't play a season like that.
A Neverfold Nick said, I'm still salty how he handled Divisional. Needed to man up and face the music. I guess he's talking about because he didn't have a post game.
This is my only thing, though. This is my only thing about that. I would have said nothing worth listening to at that moment. How many of us?
It's true. I'm a bad loser.
And sometimes you just got to know yourself, right?
But I'm not a professional. I'm not getting paid millions and millions.
Right. And I agree. I think for me, it would have taken me 24, 48. Like, give me some time. You got to face the music. You got to do it. I don't know if you always got to do it in the moment.
I hear what you're saying. Like, what do we get out of it anyway as fans? Just to see him sad?
And we've all been in moments where we're like, I'm not in a position to speak right now because everything that's going to come out of my mouth is vitriol or negative or self-defeating.
Like, what are we really getting out of him talking other than seeing him sad?
Like, just give me a beat. And
being like, you know what? I'm glad that he's sad because I'm sad. Is that what we get out of it? I guess that's what we get out of it. Like, I get annoyed with, like, when Marlon came out and he seemed like he was laughing about the situation and jovial about it. I was like, man, why do I seem more pissed off about a loss than Marlon? So I guess to that, I understand, but that's really what we're getting out of it, right? Like, that's what we wanted to hear from Mark. We wanted to see him sad. Is that right? Like, I think that's it. And I guess some fans are like, you know what? You're right. I want to see him sad. That's it. I want to see him upset about it, because what else are we really getting out? James Henkel said, I wanted 88 and a draft pick. Shake my head. 88. Charlie Kohler? Is that what he's saying? Isn't Charlie Kohler 88? Or am I tripping? I'm bad with numbers. So he didn't want he didn't want the signing. I mean, a lot of people are saying that, and I get it. When you look at his player performance, it's pretty pathetic. I mean, he's been horrible. Now you go, what, on the other side, he's been fantastic throughout his entire regular season career. So it's like, I mean, the way my dad put it, I think, was fair when I talked to him about it today. He's like, you want players that are good in clutch, because clutch is winning the Super Bowl. Like, nerves are at their highest in those moments. And do you want a guy who's already shown that nerves make him play less than his typical performance? I mean, I can't really argue that. And to further that, it's more like, man, I really hope this doesn't mean they can't keep Travis Jones, even more than Tyler Linderbaum, because Tyler, I think, is a great player, but he has obvious limitations, and he has some stinkers of a play where you're like, oh my God, he just got tossed by that big dude. And Derrick Henry just got tackled for a 2-yard loss. I mean, so I just hope that it doesn't mean we can't. Like, Chidobe, to me, has been unbelievable, like unbelievable all season. I hope this isn't a 1-year thing. And Gilman to some degree too, unless they're saying, all right, Gilman can walk because we got our Darius, maybe.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this. I'm like, I don't know if I like this or not, Jimbo.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Like I said, I'm in favor of this mostly because of the value. I don't think Isaiah Likely. I think his contract will be much less valuable as far as what he gets in the. Not saying he's not going to be good, but people are going to pay him more because of where he's at in his career and a projection, right? And so I'm okay with staying pat with what we got. And I'll double down on Mark, and I'll say this because I'm starting to change my mind a little bit on the whole. I understand the idea, like, you got to be money in the moment and come through clutch and stuff like that. I think and Mark might be one of those people, but I think there's very few people that actually get enough situations to show whether or not they are or aren't. And this is how I'm going to do. When we get in the playoffs, I think Mark is in that first game. I think he's got 2 tutties.
He better.
5 receptions, 2 touchdowns.
He better not have 2 drops. He better not have a fumble.
85 yards. Remember the stat line. I think Mark's going to show
this
out.
could be the optimistic Ravens fan in you right now who's hoping.
It could. But I don't know. I'm a big believer in everything that Mark does as a player, as a preparer, as a worker, as a teammate. Like, he just does everything right, dude. Like, as frustrated as I was last year, it's hard for me to deny that Mark Andrews has turned himself into more than what he was when he got drafted. And that cannot be the same the same cannot be said about everybody. Look, Isaiah Likely looks the same as when he got drafted, and he looks a little thicker, but like, he didn't transform his body like Mark did. And I'm not saying everybody needs to, but what I'm saying is that Mark is clearly a worker, and that's important if you're going to pay a guy. I'm not saying other people aren't. No,
he tries. He works. He works.
Dude, not too many people around that I've seen work harder than Mark Andrews.
But then none of that will make any Ravens fan who's tired of the playoff dip
You're right.
feel any better. Gene says they love their playoff choker. This team settles for good enough every year, and re-signing players like Mark perfectly reflect that mindset.
I'm gonna all you guys that are in the chat that are hating on this right now, okay?
Oh, here we go. Jimbo's getting fired up.
Yeah, I'm getting sick of this crap. Lamar can't beat the Bills. Lamar can't get the Chiefs. Get him the heck out of town then. Is that what you want to do? You want to get rid of Lamar Jackson too? Tell me about his playoff success, guys. Go ahead. Come on. Right, I just talked to a Chiefs fan today at work because he was crying about the refs on Sunday, and I told him, give me a break. You're a Chiefs fan crying about the refs. And he was like, well, I don't have a problem with the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar can't beat us anyway. What do you want me to say to that, guys? I have nothing to say.
I see what you're yeah. I mean, I see the parallel you're making that Lamar's playoff performance also dips compared to regular season. But
and trust me, I'll ride with Lamar over anybody because I know what he can do.
No, I see what the parallel you're trying to make here. I see, but I guess what they're saying is, look, I mean, Isaiah Likely's regular season performance isn't close to Mark's, but he has had, and again, limited sample size, pretty good playoff performances. So
that's fair. Now that his contract would certainly more likely impact a Linderbaum, more likely impact a Gilman.
Yeah. Well, he's a luxury at this point.
Right. He's going to get more money.
But the question is, does he get more? Because I'm looking at the current tight ends. George Kittle's making over 19 a year. Trey McBride's making 19. Kelsey over 17. Hawkinson 16 and a half. Now Mark Andrews signed a $13 million per year deal. So I'm looking around. I'm like, does Isaiah Likely get more than 13? Because that will put him above like Cole Kmet. I could see that. Cole Kmet. I mean, they just drafted Loveland with the 10th overall pick after paying Cole Kmet. Jake Ferguson makes 12 and a half. Freiermuth, no. I could see him making, I don't think he's going to set the market and make 19 like George Kittle, but I could see him getting 14, 15 a year.
Yeah, I mean, based on, like you said, sample size, what he's shown, age, unique athletic ability, there's a lot there. Like, I'm not hating on Isaiah Likely, but certainly his contract will have much more of an impact. Theoretically, if he were to stay with the Ravens, would have much more of an impact on those other guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we shall see how this shakes out. I must say, I'm still 50-50 on this one. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just, man, you got to see how it impacts the rest of those upcoming free agents. Hockey Fever says, if you could only keep one, who you take? Oh, Travis Jones to me would be who I would take.
And I don't know if I would have said that before this season.
Yeah, that's true.
But certainly Travis Jones has been a bright spot this year. And Linderbaum hasn't taken a step forward. Now, he's probably playing with the worst pair of guards in the league that are starting next to him. That ain't
not helping,
right?
No, because he's asked to help out a lot. Like he's asked to do a ton now.
He is.
So it's not really fair, but he has obvious limitations. And I guess to some degree, Travis Jones does too. I mean, he's not the pass rusher that Aaron Donald is, but I don't think he'll get that kind of pay. I think he'll get pay that would be equivalent to the best run stuffer plus. I don't think he's going to get, Aaron Donald set the market every time he gets a contract.
Yeah,
wherever
Brandon Williams fell in his group, in that top 10% probably.
Yeah.
That's what they'll do.
Yeah.
Don't you think? I mean, it's going to be pretty comparable as far as like where he falls, not the dollar for dollar, but
I think Linderbaum has more of a case to go, I want to be the next highest paid center in the league.
I agree with that.
Whereas Jones, I don't think has that. He can make that claim. I don't think so. But
yeah. I mean, we'll see what else he puts on tape by the end of the year.
I hope to keep them both. I like Linderbaum. I'm not like a Lindy. Like, I don't want him gone. I don't want
No, I think this is what Eric does. I think we keep them both. I always feel good about our chances of keeping a draft pick unless it's a clear, like Isaiah Likely is clearly gone at this point, right?
Yeah. Oh, Isaiah Likely's definitely gone. Yeah.
So
that's what this definitely means because you're not paying two. By the way, shout out to Jake Little. Just sent me a little screenshot of his top channels that he watches on YouTube. Number 5 is Kitchen Nightmares. Number 4 is the Baltimore Ravens account. Number 3 is the Rich Eisen Show. Number 2 is Pat McAfee. Number 1, you got it.
Let's go.
You got it. Shout out to you, Jake Little. You are a true legend.
Boy.
Thank you for that. Thank you for your support, viewership.
Bro.
And sending that over, sharing
Shout
that.
out.
Yeah, that was pretty
Mossy
he said it's called dedication. Yes, it is.
I love it. All 22 was a painful watch. So many wide open screens and receivers. Monken not to blame. He's scheming open short. And
that all 22, man.
Lamar was off. So
it showed a different story.
Once again, do you think that this is I think this scenario is a combination of both, right? But you go back to Lamar's want to push the ball down the field, to hold it, to extend the play and things like that. Lamar's not a check down guy, right? We're never, ever going to see, hey, diddle, Ray Rice up the middle with Lamar Jackson. But his offensive line, of course, is so poor. Yeah. Theoretically, that those two things clash, right? In that, like, if you got a terrible offensive line, you want to get that thing out. Just get it out. But Lamar doesn't want to do that. And I understand why, because he's incredible and gives his wide receivers an opportunity to do something great on one play because of his capability, right? So I think that these things are working in contrary to one another, right? To make it even worse.
Yeah, I think Lamar just has to do what he knows he has to do, which is sometimes the 5-yard play is okay. He has to take what is given to him and not try and make a big play on every play. I think that's the biggest thing. And sometimes it's got to be incredibly frustrating knowing that, hey, I might have a 25-yard play right here, but I don't have time to sit back here and wait for that part to develop. So I'm going to have to take this little check down that might only be a 3-yard gain, but it'll keep us ahead of the chains, keep us on schedule. And I think we need to see more of that. I mean, there's no doubt he missed guys last week. There's no doubt. I mean, he missed throws even when he saw some guys. And it was a tough watch, like Massaby's saying. Like, you don't get the picture from the broadcast view because you're not seeing guys wide open going like this when you're watching the broadcast view. You just don't see it. So it was a tough watch. And it's not like this isn't something we're used to seeing from Lamar. I mean, typically he finds the open guy, and his decision making is what's made him elite since he's been in the NFL. Like,
is that Glenn? Yeah. Oh boy. Did Glenn freeze for you guys? Did Russia take over? Yeah, but to Glenn's point, what he was waxing poetically about, as he can probably hear me right now, was I mean, I agree. Lamar was off, right? This is not something, to Massey's point, you can't blame this on Monk. And the hard part is you want to take Lamar and you don't want to water down his game. You want to say, hey, we want to do what you're good at and what you're able to do to open this team up, extend plays, things like that. But I think to Glenn's point, if I were to summarize it, context matters, right? And in the context of the Baltimore Ravens right now, we don't have the luxury of sitting back there and doing that. Even for a guy like Lamar Jackson, where if one guy comes through, the second guy comes through, fine. But there's been plays, you guys have seen it, and certainly looks worse on the All-22. 4 guys are breaking through, right? Like, this offensive line is is bad in epic proportions. I don't know another way to put it. So bad that in week 12, the Baltimore Ravens took a rookie who had never had a training camp, no ramp up, right? Like ramp up in practice, but had no training camp, no nothing. And they just, coming off a shoulder injury, they decided they were going to give him a shot. At this point in the season, with your healthy left guard who's been out there, right? So we're not talking about one veteran for another veteran. We're talking about a rookie. That's how bad that this offensive line has been. And so I still give them the lion's share of the responsibility when it comes to the offensive woes. Because, yes, Lamar was off. That's a problem. But even when Lamar's off, how many times were you guys sitting back there? And I don't know about you guys. I did this about 1,000 times because he doesn't even have an opportunity. Even a guy like Lamar, everyone's talking about him losing a step, this, that, and the other. Dude, he doesn't even have a chance to take a step. What are we talking about? It's so bad. So bad. It still perplexes me why Ben Cleveland doesn't get a chance to get out there. I'm glad to see that they took Gentry. No, geez whiz. What's his name? Oh my gosh. Vincent? Oh, Emory Jones, LSU kid. Yeah. Emory Jones. It still, absolutely blows my mind that, I'm glad that they got him out there. It still blows my mind. That's the only change that they've attempted to make all season. I think DK is saying try him at right. Yeah. Well, it's funny, DK, because coincidentally, as soon as Voorhees, of course, as soon as they shorten his leash, what happens to Falele's game? According to the stats, right? Like, he improves. All of a sudden, he sees a guy over here and he's like, crap, accountability is a thing here. I better play better. And then all of a sudden, not saying he was beating the world, right? But certainly, according to PFF and other metrics, Falele had in what I'll call an okay game, right? So, yeah, it's a frustrating. Will Alton, hey Glenn, you there?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what happened.
I'm telling you, dude, Russia, they got all your passwords.
Dude, I just shut down everything. But I will say, I think it's because my computer didn't have a lot of charge. And so it's like, it's right on the brink. Oh, no. I'm freezing again. Oh, no.
No, you're not freezing. You're just a little behind. Is your computer plugged into the charger?
It is. But I think it's not charging it quick enough as much as I'm consuming.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, man. Poor Glenn. We need to figure this out.
I should have just plugged it in earlier. That's all.
Did you have it off the charger?
Yeah.
That's okay.
I didn't think if it's powered down, I'm like, it's not going to.
We live and we learn. Let's see. Massively says Chiefs most likely missing out playoffs. Bills will be wild card. This is no better chance for Ravens, surely. So it was what you're saying. It doesn't increase our chances by the Bills being the wild card, Massively. I think that's what Glenn, you're frozen again, my dude. But you are frozen with it's a good face. It's good. Oh, you're back. Hello. Okay, take your time. Take your time. No worries. Dude, you guys remember that? And remember, like, you try and, I'm on the phone. I'm on the computer. Somebody would pick up the phone and try and make a call.
All right. I'm on the wrong mic.
Okay.
But it's because I have to plug the charger right into the computer and not that thing that DK told me to get because it doesn't keep up. but that means I can't plug in my mic. So no, it's not it's not the internet. My internet is fine, guys.
Wait, don't you have two inlets?
Yeah, but the other one is so I can do the camera.
Ah, crap.
So it's either the camera is good.
Can you plug in can you plug in the dongle, and then into the dongle can you do the camera and the mic?
No. The mic doesn't work when I do that.
Into the has to go right into the computer, right? I've had that issue too. I tried to yeah, that's true. That's good.
How bad is the mic?
It's not terrible. You're fine. Nothing in comparison to what mine has been.
Should I keep the mic just for aesthetic?
Well, now that everybody knows, maybe not.
yeah, maybe not now. Okay. Did you read this yet from Massey B?
Yeah, I did. I think what he's saying is that it doesn't improve our chances by playing the Bills in comparison to the Chiefs in the playoffs if they're the wild card.
Oh, right.
Look, I'd be happy to bring the Bills to Baltimore.
Yeah, little
bring
revenge.
Them on down. Yeah. You know what I want? And I am being overly optimistic considering the fact that we just lost to the Bengals. But, boy, I was hearing all of it today at work, and I couldn't take it anymore. All right, couldn't take it anymore. So now you guys are getting the positive that I was holding in today, because if we beat the Steelers and we start rolling downhill, ultimately this is my issue, Glenn. If you had to say at the beginning of the season, our defense is broken, our offense is broken, which one has a more likely chance of fixing itself? What would your answer be?
Say that one more time.
Say your defense is broken, offense is broken. Which unit has a more likely chance of turning things around in your mind?
On any team or on this team?
No, on this team. Beginning of the season, if I told you that.
You got to say the offense. Yeah.
So and I agree with you wholeheartedly, and that is because we got 8 under center. That is because, we got other talent around him, but 8 makes it all go. So as bad as the offensive line has been, I have to believe, I cannot make myself believe that this offense is going to remain this bad. I just don't believe it. And so if I believe that we come back to center and the defense is rearing to go at this point, I think that we beat this Steelers team. We start running downhill, gain some momentum. Look, dude, I want Bills. And you know who I want after that? I want to go up to New England.
And spoil their party?
Oh, yeah. I want to go up to New England. I think we're going to beat them in a couple weeks. Come down to Baltimore. We're going to slack them a little bit. Go up there. I'll go out to Colorado too, ruin their parade too. That's fine. But, dude, I don't know, man. Something is burning in my bosom. Okay? That's all I got to say.
You might need some cream for that, Jimbo.
I got a feeling is what I'm trying to say.
Well, look, I think that what is the most encouraging thing is the most puzzling thing at the same time. It's like this is the same team, relatively the exact same coaching staff from a record-setting, unbelievable offense from last year. So in that regard, it's like it's just as much like maddening and confusing as it is encouraging. It's like, well, this same group was unbelievable last year, like unbelievable. So at any moment, theoretically, they should be able to snap out of it, start playing like they did last season, be absolutely unstoppable in the red zone, have the best yards per pass and the best yards per run in the entire league. That's what this exact same group from last year was able to accomplish. This year, it's almost unrecognizable watching this team and how far they've stepped back. But like I said, this team, this group has shown before that they can do it. So there's reason to believe that they could somehow snap out of whatever days they've been in this entire season and certainly these last few weeks and get back to playing the football they played last year. It's not unreasonable to think that.
Well, and look, Glenn, I mentioned it when you were off negotiating your credentials back from Russia, that when we took Emory Jones and plugged him in, if you didn't notice, I'm sure you saw the PFF scores, but Falele, according to PFF, had an improved game, is what I'll call it. Not, an improved game. And I think it's funny how he gets a monicum of accountability over on the other side. And he's like, crap.
So I better pick this fire under his ass.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So, and I don't know what the answers are here, but my point is that there has to be something that we can do other than sit on our hands to improve this situation. I think ultimately it all comes down to the O-line, and it comes down to the health of Lamar Jackson. I don't think the other things that people have talked about with him missing passes and things like that are customary or what we know about Lamar. So We've got to figure it out. We've got to get just good enough. You know what I mean? I don't even know if we need to be history setting like last year, but we need to be just good enough. Because even at the beginning of the season, forget last year, even at the beginning of the season, we were lighting it up. Our defense was just a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
So in this same season, we've done it. Offensively, always blessed 410 says, my guys, how y'all doing? Hopefully Andrew's contract extension will give him more reason to play harder. God bless you and your families. I agree with that. I don't think this happens to everybody, but I think Mark is the type of guy. I like to consider myself this type of person. I don't know if I am or not, though. I got to be honest. But the one that's like, hey, somebody's put their trust and their faith in me. I'm going to work harder now, right?
Prove them right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think there's an issue of him playing hard enough. I don't think that's ever been an issue. It's been the untimely drops and miscues when it seems to matter most is really been the whole thing with Mark Andrews. And then this year, most recently, like the last few weeks, it seems to be like they're not on the same page. Like Andrews is thinking one thing and Lamar's thinking the other. And I'm seeing a lot of frustration that I'm not used to seeing when targets are going towards Mark. So I don't know if he's going to all of a sudden start playing harder, because I think he plays hard every play. I think that's kind of part of what makes Andrews who he is. Yeah. And the same can be said with probably most of our guys. Like I don't look at any of our guys and go, oh, it's an effort. A lot of it's a skill issue. Some of them just stink, like Falele. Like I don't know if he doesn't play mean enough. Like I don't know if it's a hard enough issue. There's a lot of things you can point out, but I don't know if playing hard enough is something you can really point out to many guys on our team here.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Around the league. There's some guys that make you scratch your head. I saw somebody say, you guys said Pickens was bad, and now look how good. We never said Pickens wasn't a good player.
No, he's just a head case.
Yeah, he's just
incredible talent. I mean, he's
ridiculously good.
What is Snoop Dogg called the Island Boys? 2 goofballs in the pool, right? Like that's George Pickens. He's just a goofball, man. Like,
but he's got a lot of talent. Like he's like Keon Coleman if Keon Coleman was actually good.
Right, dude.
Keon Coleman's like silly, and everybody loved him when he first came out because he was funny. And then they're like, oh, he's not good though. That's a problem. That's a problem. I think Nuno says it right. If Lamar dink and dunk and less big play, the river will. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like he needs to take the dinks and the dunks because that's right now what's open, and then those will turn into bigger plays. We constantly see it. Like Joe Burrow, throws a 6-yard pass to Jamar Chase, and then he makes 3 guys miss, stiff arms another, and he's in the end zone for a 70-yard gain. In the stat sheet, it looks like a 70-yard pass. Same with Shedeur. Shedeur Sanders' first touchdown was a 60-some-yard touchdown. It looked great on the stat sheet, and then you look and you go, oh, he threw a screen pass, and then Dylan Sampson did everything else. So it's like sometimes you have to let that happen. It's you're not always going to bomb it 50 yards for a touchdown.
Look, in this scenario, good old Mr. Pearney will like this. A plus B equals C, right? Like you take what they give you, you dink and you dunk, and it opens things up inevitably. Not only because of what you said, Glenn, because we have playmakers on the outside, but because the defense starts to lull. They start to guess. They start to anticipate. And then you make it look the same, and you have the play be different, right? Like you have a different outcome, same look. We always talk about this, right? Like, I mean, not as in just us, but the entire league. Like, you always watch the linebackers take a habitual, almost uncontrollable hop forward and then boop, boop, right over the top, right? Like, this is not a rocket science. This is not a new thing. I agree with you 1,000%. I said it when you're off as well. In this scenario where the two forces are acting against each other with the terrible offensive line and Lamar wanting to extend the plays, context matters. Lamar has to understand that context matters here, right? Like you cannot, even though you want to take on the responsibility of giving your guys more time. In this context, you cannot. You can't. Right. Yeah. So take what's out there for you, dude. And it's crazy to me. I'll tell you what, Glenn, you know this.
It's a negative play. Like sometimes eat the sack.
Eat it or throw the ball away. Yeah. A lot of people I don't think will believe me, but look, I was a decent ball player, and there was basketball, and there was nothing that I liked more than having guys that I could trust on the outside, and all I had to do was run the play and not turn the ball over. Like Lamar, just make the easy one. One of my favorite coaches in the world, make the easy pass. Just make the easy one, dude. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to reinvent the wheel or hit, lightning in a bottle in every play. Let's take a minute and make the easy one, right?
Yeah, and I think that means sometimes taking a negative, but stopping it from being a bigger negative.
Yep.
Let's see here. I saw somebody mentioned earlier. Yeah, it was Mark mentioned he'd be fine with the $15-16 million tight end franchise tag for Isaiah Likely. Hell no.
Yeah.
No. Heck no.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even close. I'm not paying.
If anybody's getting the franchise tag next year, it's going to be one of the two names that you talked about.
Yeah, exactly. First of all, the Ravens aren't a frequent user of the franchise tag. Yeah. It's quite rare that they use it.
It's a matter of extension to the negotiating period.
But yeah, exactly. It's a tool they use to further the extension talks. That's the only reason. But again, that's the average. I believe the franchise tag is the average of the top 5 players paid at that position. So they're not going to pay Isaiah Likely $16 million for 1 year when he's the second tight end and he's had a down year.
100%.
So yeah, no chance on that. I mean I like him, but not exactly hockey exactly. I mean he hasn't done a ton. A lot of it's just projection. A lot of it's like, man, he looked good on that play. Man, look at his yards after catch potential. But not actually what he's done in a lot of ways. So he's done some stuff, though. He's done some stuff.
Well, look, Glenn, I'm super excited about Steelers week. I'm really excited to get into the breakdown of this matchup. Somebody asked in the chat who's going to contain Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is going to contain Aaron Rodgers.
Although they just claimed, I believe, Adam Thielen.
They did, yeah. Well, they have the worst wide receiver core in the league. Basically, they just traded George Pickens for DK Metcalf and gave him a ton of money. And it turns out that George Pickens is better. Surprise, surprise!
And they're both they both have personalities. I'll say that,
in their own way.
Yeah.
Much different.
Yeah.
But look, we're excited to get into it. It's a different week. Like I said, this game, it counts for 2. The Ravens going to be locked in. I'm excited to talk about it. Excited to break down this game coming up with you guys. I think that's it for us tonight, folks.
Oh
yeah, DK. Yeah. Thank you for the reminder. Also, the over/under winner for this week is Janet from YouTube. Shout out to Janet. Please DM us your address and shirt size on Twitter, Facebook, or
Jimmy will hand deliver it to your door.
Right to the door. It'll probably get there faster if I make it and deliver it.
That's it.
But yeah, that'll get sent on its way. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back on Friday, and that's it.
See you.